Stoic philosophy begins with a simple yet powerful invitation to be still. In a world of constant noise, endless distractions, and restless thoughts, the Stoics remind us that peace is not found in the external world, but within our own minds. Tonight, as you close your eyes and allow yourself to drift toward rest, imagine laying aside every worry, every regret, and every anxious thought. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher, king, often reminded himself that life is short and much of what troubles us is unworthy of our concern. The things we worry about most never truly come to pass, and the things we cannot change are wasted burdens. So let this be your moment of freedom. Take a breath, slow it down, and allow the noise of the day to fade. Sleep is not just rest for the body, but rest for the soul, a time when you can surrender to nature and trust that tomorrow will bring new strength. The Stoics knew that serenity is the highest form of wealth. Not to right now, that serenity is yours to claim. The Stoics taught us to live in harmony with nature. They saw the universe as an ordered whole, where every event, whether joyful or painful, plays a necessary role. When you lie down to rest, you become part of that larger rhythm. The cycles of day and night, the rise and fall of breath, the quiet turning of the seasons. Seneca once wrote that, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." So tonight, release the weight of imagined fears. The future is not here yet, and the past is already gone. What remains is this moment, the rhythm of your breath and the gentle stillness around you. By aligning yourself with nature, you can let go of resistance. Sleep is the most natural act of surrender, a reminder that you do not need to force life, but simply flow with it. Trust that as rivers find the sea and stars move across the night sky, your own life has a path, and rest is part of it. A cornerstone of Stoic philosophy is the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. So much of our daily suffering comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. Other people's opinions, outcomes of events, or the passage of time. Epictetus advised us to focus only on what is ours to govern our choices, our thoughts, our actions. As you settle into rest, remind yourself that the weight of the world is not yours to carry. You do not need to solve every problem tonight. You do not need to hold every responsibility at once. Instead, allow yourself the grace to focus inward. The day has ended, nothing more can be changed in it. Tomorrow will bring fresh opportunities for choice and action, but tonight is for surrender. When you practice this, you embody the true Stoic spirit, not a life of suppression, but a life of freedom from unnecessary chains. Gratitude was central to Stoic reflection. Marcus Aurelius began many of his meditations by thanking the universe for another day of life, another opportunity to grow in virtue. Gratitude shifts the mind away from scarcity and complaint and toward abundance and acceptance. As you lie here, ready to drift into sleep, think not of what you lack, but of what you already have. You have the gift of life, the ability to breathe deeply, the chance to learn and reflect. Even in hardship, the Stoics taught that we can be thankful, for adversity strengthens the soul. If the day was filled with challenges, see them not as curses but as teachers. If the day was filled with joys, let those joys echo gently in your heart. Gratitude brings peace, and peace brings rest. By ending the day in gratitude, you align yourself with the wisdom of the Stoics and prepare your soul for calm dreams. One of the greatest gifts Stoicism offers is the ability to change our perspective. Life's troubles may feel enormous, but when viewed from the vastness of the cosmos, they shrink into insignificance. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that human life is a brief flicker against the backdrop of eternity. The things that feel overwhelming now, the arguments, the stress, the fears, are but passing clouds. Tonight, as you rest, imagine zooming out. See yourself not as trapped in problems, but as part of the infinite universe, where every star burns with its own light, and every soul is a vital part of the whole. From this perspective, your burdens feel lighter, and your mind begins to quiet. Sleep is easier when you let perspective wash away attachment to small troubles. By embracing the Stoic view, you see not chaos but order, not tragedy but transformation. Rest now in the knowledge that life is vast, and your worries are small. Stoicism teaches us that holding on too tightly to outcomes or possessions creates suffering. Nothing we cling to is permanent. Our health, wealth, relationships, and even life itself are constantly changing. Epictetus reminded his students to practice detachment by imagining that every possession is simply on loan from nature. When we sleep, we are given a nightly rehearsal of this truth. We let go of the day, surrender our control, and allow ourselves to drift into the unknown. In this gentle act of release, we practice the art of letting go. Tonight, as you rest, imagine setting down each thought one by one. Lay aside regrets, worries, unfinished tasks. You are not abandoning responsibility. You are simply entrusting life to the flow of time. Just as you cannot hold on to each breath forever, you cannot hold on to every part of your day. Let go, and you will find peace. Sleep comes naturally to the one who surrenders. The Stoics believed that external circumstances, wealth, status, pleasure, pain do not define a good life. Only virtue does. Virtue means living with wisdom, justice, courage, and self-discipline. As you prepare to rest, reflect on how you lived today. Did you act with kindness? Did you face challenges with courage? Did you seek truth instead of illusion? Even if the day was imperfect, the Stoics would say that the pursuit of virtue itself is noble. Sleep becomes deeper when your conscience is clear, when your mind is not weighed down by guilt or shame. But even if you stumbled, remember, tomorrow is another chance to live virtuously. Tonight is not for judgment, but for renewal. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive." That privilege begins with restful sleep, which restores the body and clears the mind for another day of pursuing the good. To the Stoics, reflecting on mortality was not morbid. It was liberating. They practiced memento mori, the remembrance of death, to remind themselves not to waste time on trivialities. As you close your eyes tonight, consider the brevity of life. Our days are numbered, though we never know the count. This is not meant to frighten, but to free you. When you remember that life is short, you release yourself from unnecessary anger, fear, and desire. You no longer cling to illusions of control. You begin to cherish each breath, each moment of rest, each opportunity to love and grow. Sleep itself is a symbol of this truth. Each night we descend into a kind of death, and each morning we awaken reborn. By embracing mortality, you find gratitude for life. By surrendering to sleep, you honor the rhythm of existence and prepare your spirit for another day of meaning. The Stoics lived simply, not because they rejected joy, but because they understood freedom lies in needing less. Seneca wrote that, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Tonight, reflect on how simplicity brings peace. You do not need wealth or luxury to rest well. You need only a quiet mind, a grateful heart, and the willingness to let the world be as it is. The bed you rest on, the breath in your lungs, the silence of the night, all of these are enough. When you realize that peace is found in simplicity, you are no longer enslaved by endless desires. Sleep comes easily to the one who does not hunger for more, but finds contentment in less. By letting go of excess, you embrace true wealth, a soul untroubled, ready to drift gently into dreams. The Stoics did not shy away from hardship. They welcomed it as a forge for the soul. Just as fire strengthens steel, adversity strengthens character. Tonight, as you reflect on your day, recall the challenges you faced. Perhaps they frustrated or exhausted you, but each one was an opportunity to grow. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that obstacles are not interruptions to life, but life itself. As you close your eyes, let go of resentment for the difficulties you endured. Instead, see them as teachers that shaped you. Sleep becomes restorative when you no longer resist what has already passed. The battle of today has ended, and tomorrow is a new chance to face life with resilience. Rest now, knowing that your soul grows stronger with each challenge, and that peace is earned through courage and endurance. Much of human anxiety comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. The Stoics taught that storms will come, people will behave as they will, and fate will unfold in ways beyond our choosing. What belongs to us is not the storm, but the sail, our ability to steer our own responses. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, notice if your mind is trying to rewrite the events of the day. Perhaps you wish you had said something differently, or you fear what tomorrow may bring. Recognize these thoughts as illusions of control. You cannot change what has already happened, nor can you dictate the future. What you can control is how you meet the present moment with calm, with acceptance, with peace. Sleep is easier when you stop wrestling with the past and stop trying to predict the future. By embracing the limits of control, you gain true freedom, and your mind finds rest. The Stoics believe that we are all threads in a vast cosmic web. Each life, each event, each moment is woven into the fabric of the universe. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that what benefits the whole also benefits the individual. As you lie down tonight, feel yourself as part of this greater harmony. The troubles of your life may feel heavy, but in the scale of the cosmos, they are light and passing. Just as a single wave belongs to the vast ocean, you too belong to something far greater. Sleep, then, becomes not just a personal rest, but a return to the natural rhythm of the whole. In harmony with the universe, you are never truly alone. The stars above, the silence around you, the beating of your heart, all remind you that you are part of something eternal. Let this awareness dissolve your worries and rest in cosmic peace. Every evening, Stoics like Seneca advised reflecting on the day that has passed. This was not for judgment or self-criticism, but for growth. As you rest tonight, ask yourself, what did I do well? Where did I falter? How might I improve tomorrow? Such reflection clears the mind of restless thoughts. It replaces guilt with learning and anxiety with intention. Imagine writing the day into a book, closing its pages and setting it aside. You no longer need to carry it with you into the night. Sleep becomes deeper when you know you have learned from the day and prepared your soul for tomorrow. Reflection is not heavy but light, not punishment but freedom. It is a conversation with yourself, an act of honesty that brings clarity. With this practice, you honor the Stoic path, living not blindly, but with awareness, wisdom, and peace. Equanimity, the calm acceptance of both joy and sorrow, was the heart of Stoic peace. Life will bring both sunshine and storms, yet neither should disturb the inner stillness of the soul. Tonight, let this truth settle within you. Perhaps today brought happiness, perhaps it brought difficulty. Either way, You are not defined by circumstances, but by your response. When you cultivate equanimity, you remain steady as the world shifts around you. You are like a mountain unshaken by passing clouds, or like the deep ocean, undisturbed by surface waves. Sleep is a training ground for this serenity. Each night you release control, surrender to nature, and accept what is. The Stoics remind us that we are not powerless but powerful, for the calm mind can turn even pain into wisdom. Rest now in this serenity, knowing that whatever tomorrow brings, your soul is prepared to remain steady and free. The Stoics valued each new day as a gift from nature, a chance to live wisely, to grow in virtue, and to serve the greater good. As you prepare to drift into sleep, let the thought of renewal comfort you. The mistakes of today do not define you. The challenges of today do not imprison you. Sleep washes away the weight of the past and prepares you for the dawn. Marcus Aurelius would remind himself each morning to rise with purpose, to face the day as a human being created for action, kindness, and resilience. Tonight, let your rest be the seed of that renewal. Trust that tomorrow you will awaken with clarity, with strength, and with peace. For now, you need only surrender. Sleep is not an end, but a beginning, a return to the natural cycle of effort and rest, struggle and growth. Drift peacefully, knowing that renewal awaits. The Stoics often spoke of building an inner fortress, an unshakable citadel within the mind that no external force can destroy. Life will always bring uncertainty, but within yourself you can cultivate strength, resilience, and calm. Tonight, as you prepare for rest, imagine that in a fortress, its walls are built of wisdom, its gates guarded by discipline, its foundation rooted in virtue. No insult, no failure, no fear can penetrate it. The world outside may change, but inside this fortress you remain unbroken. Sleep itself is part of strengthening this inner sanctuary. As your body rests, your soul withdraws from the chaos of the day and returns to stillness. Remember, the Stoics did not teach cold detachment, but inner freedom, the ability to remain calm while still engaging with the world. Rest now within your fortress, safe, steady, and untroubled, as you drift into the peace of sleep. Though Stoicism emphasizes personal strength, it also reminds us that we are bound to one another through shared humanity. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the faults of others, not with anger, but with compassion, reminding himself that they act from ignorance, just as he sometimes does. As you lie down tonight, let go of any resentment carried from the day. Forgive those who may have wronged you, and forgive yourself for your own mistakes. We are all fellow travelers, striving, stumbling, and learning along the path of life. Sleep comes more gently when the heart is free of bitterness. Instead of holding anger, embrace compassion. Remember that every person you encounter is fighting battles unseen, and like you, they seek peace. In this shared struggle, we are united. As you rest, imagine sending quiet kindness into the world, like ripples across still water. Let compassion be your final thought before sleep, softening the soul and opening it to peace. The Stoics taught that life is lived only in the present moment. The past is gone, the future is not yet here. Only now is real. Yet most of our suffering comes from abandoning the present, chasing after what has passed, or fearing what lies ahead. Tonight, as you prepare to rest, anchor yourself in the now. Feel the weight of your body on the bed, the rhythm of your breath, the stillness of the night. This moment is enough. In fact, it is all you will ever truly have. By practicing presence, you free yourself from regret and anxiety. Sleep itself is an act of presence, for in surrendering you accept the moment as it is. Let go of the illusions of yesterday and tomorrow. Rest now in the gift of quiescence, knowing that peace is always available here and now, if only you choose to see it. The Stoics believed that when we live in harmony with reason, virtue, and nature, we find peace. Misery comes from fighting against the flow of life, but tranquility comes from aligning with it. Tonight, reflect on whether you are living in alignment with your values. Did your actions today reflect wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control? If not, forgive yourself and commit to better. Alignment is not perfection, but intention. As you breathe deeply, imagine your soul aligning like a compass needle finding true north. In this state, sleep becomes not just physical rest, but spiritual harmony. The universe does not demand perfection, only sincerity. Trust that by striving to live with integrity, you are already on the path of peace. Let alignment calm your thoughts, soothe your heart, and guide you gently into the stillness of sleep. Finally, remember that each night is a return to peace. No matter how turbulent the day has been, sleep offers renewal. The Stoics understood that life moves in cycles. Growth and decay, struggle and rest, beginnings and endings. By embracing these cycles, you find calm. Tonight, let yourself return to the source of peace. Imagine the vast universe above you, stars burning quietly, planets turning endlessly, all in harmony. You too are part of that order. Your rest tonight is not separate from the cosmos, but part of its rhythm. In sleep, you are united with nature's flow, preparing to rise again with new strength. Remember the Stoic truth, peace is always within reach. Not because the world is easy, but because your soul is capable of serenity. Rest now in the eternal return to peace, knowing that life itself is a gift, and tonight that gift is sleep.